those R types like to be involved with the president. So
Nice.
you're welcome.
So for those of you that are on here watching and you're just seeing different people pop up on your screen at a time, if you're on a phone, you're going to be on speaker view anyway. It's just going to change that person. If you are on a computer, a laptop or anything, then you want to click in the upper right-hand corner so it says gallery view so you can see everybody on the call at one time instead, because if you did, you'd see Kenny Brooks is already here, man. He's down here in the box. He's chilling outside on the porch. The rest of us locked inside, except for Rachel. Kenny, Rachel is out on the beach mocking your porch.
Right.
So, all right. So Facebook integration is not working.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Again. So I'll just shoot it over to YouTube then. Let's go over here with this one. It's there.
What do you use for that, Joe? Are you just streaming direct from Zoom?
From Zoom, yeah. If Ken was here, he would yell at me and tell me that I have to use StreamYard.
StreamYard, VMix,
but StreamYard
Restream
doesn't let everybody participate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and yeah, StreamYard is still limited. It's a good program, but you're still limited on the number of places you can stream unless you pay the
$40 a month.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I'm out on that.
And
program.
that's still only 10 people that it lets be on there with you if it's you pay the
It's
40.
six people on the screen with 4 people in the green room that you have to
Right.
cycle in and out. And I'm like, that's not going to work because let's be real. We all want to be on the same screen as Kenny Brooks.
Yep.
Let's be real. That's what we're doing.
Screenshotted.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start kicking off. We're live on YouTube as well as on our Zoom call here. So Facebook is not being responsive again. So I have to create a bogus account like Luigi told me. So when you guys, this is what I want to do. I'm excited today because this has been, I get to talk to a guy now. I've been bugging him for a month now. So he's like, dude, shut up. But Kenny Brooks is somebody I use to this day in my training classes to say, look, when you are prepared to make a sale and talk to people, if you know your stuff so well, then nobody can get one past you. Okay. And my example forever was exactly that. Was let me show you what happens when you have become such a master in your craft, right? For me, I say you want to become a Jedi in sales. You want to be out there. So this man has done that. So I'm going to throw up what I want to first ask him this is that, so 2011, Kenny Brooks goes viral. Now, most people don't know the story. I was lucky enough. He was on my buddy Mo's podcast already. And so I got to listen to a little bit. So I just want a condensed version. I don't want to make him mad anymore, right? And get upset with what he's doing. But when I look at this man, for one, this is somebody I have an immense amount of respect for because of the amount of effort he has put into what he does for a living. Okay. And so he got recorded back in 2011. The video went viral. Okay. And I want Kenny to tell us just real quick, right? Because now we're in 2020. So from 2011 to 2020, what happened? What got you to this point today? And then I want him to drop some nuggets on what it takes to sell. Because if anybody who's been deemed as the best door-to-door salesperson ever, right, we need to learn from this person and we need to take a bunch of notes and go through. So I'm going to say, let's hold off the questions or raise your hand if you put him in the chat. He's on his phone. I told him I'll monitor chat and make sure that nobody is jumping in and interrupting him while he's going, because when he's in the flow, you want to let him be in the flow. Make sense? Kenny Brooks, my friend, I want to say thank you for joining us. And I also want to say, so what has happened since 2011 to now?
Right. Well, first of all, I want to thank Joe for inviting me on this Zoom call. Basically, I started the video 2011. Actually, I had quit my sales job. I started doing sales like basically, I was telling Mo and a couple of other people when I did podcasts like Brad Lee and them that I started doing sales like on an accident when I was like 12 years old because my mom couldn't afford me no basketball shoes. So I went and asked her, I needed some shoes to play basketball. She said she couldn't afford them. So I went to school. And I was playing at like some church shoot. I was sliding all across the gym, and I was humiliated. People was making fun of me and everything. So I really couldn't showcase like my basketball skills. So on the way home from school, I seen like this pole. It had like a paper, and it had like an ad on there saying that it was a paper route, basically saying I can deliver paper every day after school and make like $50 a week. And then so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. My goal was to like do it for like probably like 2 weeks, make like a quick $100, and then buy some shoes, and then go back to playing basketball. The first day I went out, I'm delivering paper with this other kid, and I threw the paper. One was we had like a little red wagon. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day when we do paper routes, we got the wagon with the papers and you throw it to the addresses. I'm throwing the paper to the address. The guy come out, customer, he come out extremely rude, like just like he was like, "What? Why y'all keep giving me papers? I canceled this subscription a long time ago." And I was like, I'm 12 years old. The only thing I can think of, because like it was just like a talent that I had just possessed. But I was like, I turned into a salesperson real quick. That's why I said I became a salesperson on accident. Because as soon as he said that, the other guy looked at me like, "What you gonna say?" And I was like, "If two of your kids was playing, one broke the glass, would you spank both of them?" He was like, "No." I was like, "Well, you shouldn't spank us. Let me just call a company and find out what the problem is, and we can have the solution, and we probably can get you like a free subscription, or because I apologize for the bad performance." And then I end up selling them on keeping the subscription and not resold them on like a whole year subscription. So we get in, they tell the manager they move me from a paper route boy to a salesperson. Now I'm like 12 years old, so they had to give me like a script to learn. And at the time, the script was like longer than ketchup. And I didn't want to read the script because it was telling me like you could work towards a college education. And I'm like 12 years old. I wasn't thinking about college at the time. I was just thinking about getting some shoes to play basketball. So I'm like, this is not me. It ain't gonna fit me. So anyway, I started like just being myself and using like one-liners and jokes at 12 years old. And I was breaking the ice with people. So at 12 to 14, make a long story short, I went from trying it out to loving it from like 12 years old. So I started doing it from like 12 to 14. I became like the top salesperson like 12 years old. So I started making like the same amount of money as my mother. Like I was making like $200 to $300 a week just based off of like just signing people up and selling them newspaper subscription. So then like after high school, around like 2008 or 9, I got back into sales. That's when I did a traveling sales job where the video went viral. So I was like the top salesperson over there because experience the best teacher. I had experience, but what I had experience with is I knew how to make people laugh and break the ice, because like as a little kid, I was like the black sheep of the family. No offense, I am black, but that's what they call me. I was like the black sheep of the family, and I was like a party going people person. I was class clown in high school, so I already knew I had personality. But what I didn't have like the knowledge of sales. Like, so I started reading a lot of books like Zig Ziglar and Dale Carnegie and like Og Mandingo, Napoleon Hill, all of these books. I started like reading self-improvement books. So I started teaching myself like the art of selling and like the principle behind a sale and how to greet people and like how to break the ice and personality. So I really started getting involved with like learning how to be a great salesperson from like the age of like 19 to 21. And like 21, that's when that video went viral. Like fast forward from like I got in sales like 2008 again, and then like 2010 I was like the top salesperson for like 2 years. So then like what happened was at the end of 2010, like around like January 2010, I remember briefly like yesterday, this one guy had beat me in sales, and he had worked the Indian reservation, and he was just talking mess to me because he like nobody was beating me. I was like consistent. I was just beating everybody, like blowing them out. Cause I was like my way of selling is like I was like, that's why my title was like door-to-door comedian, because I was selling people just strictly off personality. I had so many customers that would just buy and they didn't even know what they was buying just off of my approach and like one-liners and jokes. So anyway, this one day he beat me, and then I was like, "Where did you work at?" He was like, "I worked in the reservation." I was like, I bet you that I'm gonna go work that same Indian reservation. I'm gonna double your sales. So anyway, we was at Temecula. I don't know if y'all familiar with Temecula, California. We worked Pachinga. It was Pachinga. I remember like yesterday, it was Pachinga Indian reservation. So they dropped me off. The first door I knock on, dude come to the door with a shotgun. He like, "Get off my porch, I'll blow your brains off." I'm like, "God bless you, have a good day." And then so I walked off. He started following me with the shotgun. He was like, "You knock on one more door, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm like, oh shoot. So I called my manager. I'm like, hey, you gotta come pick me up. This guy, he crazy, follow me with a gun. Tell me if I knock on another door, he gonna kill me. So anyway, my manager started laughing. He like, man, you the top salesperson. Yeah, you ain't never called me like saying that, you know, somebody following you with a gun. Like, it was like the boy that cried wolf, because I never called like it don't matter. Like, I didn't went like all day without a sale, and you know, sales is a mystery. I learned that from Zig Ziglar. The longer it takes you to get the sale, the closest one. I never called. I didn't have slow days where I didn't went like 6-7 hours without a sale, and then in 10 minutes I pick up like 15-20 sales just selling people Lamborghini fast. So, but this day it wasn't like that. So I called him. He thought that, you know, I probably wanted to get moved. I was having a bad day. So anyway, he was like, well, look, I'm dropping the rest of your sales team off. Give me like 15-20 minutes. He was like, if he keep following you, just call the police if I'm making the time. So anyway, while I'm on the phone, I guess the guy thought I was talking to the police. He ended up turning around, going back to his house. I'm walking, I get off the phone, I see this door, the door was open. So I was like, let me go knock on this door, and I'm gonna just try to get some help, because I didn't want to call the police. I just wanted to get some help, but I was really still in sales mode. Anyway, because I'm from Detroit, I'm like, people put guns out every day. I see that all the time. So, and they said tough times don't last, tough people do. So I wasn't really thinking. My mind was like, I was just like my mind was just equipped. I was just trying to win. It didn't really matter what was going on. That's how it was. I just had tough skin. So anyway, I go to the next door. A blind lady come to the door, and then she was like, I was like, don't shoot, just a chocolate funny kid going door to door. She was like, is you dark chocolate or you caramel chocolate? I'm like, I'm dark chocolate. She was like, you African American? I'm like, yeah. She like, you in the wrong neighborhood. I'm surprised my nephews ain't run you out this neighborhood, because they father just got murdered by an African American. And I'm like, I'm sorry to hear that. So I started putting 2 to 2 together. I said, dang, I probably just ran into one of your nephews that pulled a gun out on me. But I didn't tell her that. So then she was like, so what are you selling? I'm like, I'm only selling good looks, charming personality, but this cleaner put the icing on the cake. And then she was like, you selling the cleaner? I was like, yes, ma'am. And then she was like, how many bottles you got in your bag? I was like, I got 4 bottles left. She was like, can you promise me if I buy these bottles in your bag, can you leave my neighborhood? Because I don't want nothing crazy to happen to you. I was like, okay, sure. So she bought all the bottles in my bag. So I leave her door. So now I'm calling my manager again. I'm like, look, can you come get me? I just emptied my bag. Just move me to another neighborhood. I'm still working. I ain't give up. Anyway, while I'm on the phone, he hung up. He's like, I'm on my way. They pull up on me, the same guy with the shotgun, and like, I guess he had like a whole entourage. Now it's like 5 guys on like 4-wheelers and everything. Like, they come out with like machetes, guns, and knives and everything. He was like, you thought I was playing? Didn't I tell you don't go to another door? He was like, this brown native pride truck about to pull up. If you don't get in, we gonna kill you. So I start crying instantly. I'm like, oh, because they surrounded me, like, and I was like in a huddle. So they like had me surrounded. So I'm like crying now. And then a brown truck pull up, and then the dude rolled down the window with a sawed-off shotgun, and he pointed at me. He was like, get in right now before I kill you. And then so I'm about to walk in. I'm actually like walking like in the truck, like, and on my way. I'm like probably like right with the door open. I'm about to walk, and I see like 3 unmarked police cars just come out of nowhere, like basically like just saved my life. It was like God was like right there. So as soon as they seen the police with sirens just driving up to them, they just start scattering, like going different ways, like. And so I'm just in shock now. So the police come, and then they tell me to get in the back of the car. They start asking me to fill out a police report, asking me what happened and everything. And I'm telling them, like, I'm just crying. I'm like, I don't know. My friend worked this area yesterday. He had a good day. He had like 30-some sales. And I go over here today, and like the first door, they put a gun on me. Then I sell this lady 4 bottles, and then they just surrounded me and telling me to get in this truck. So he's like, I was like, did somebody end up calling you and tell you that, like, what was going on? They was like, no. They was like, we happen to monitor this area because it's a lot of crime that's been going on in the last couple of days, like murder, kidnapping, and all this. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. So anyway, to make a long story short, they take me down to the police station. I fill out a police report, and I had to do like a lineup, like to point the people out after I did my police report. They was like, do you remember the guys, how they look if we was to have you point them out? I was like, I remember like 2 of them. I remember the guy that rolled down his window and told me to get in. I remember the guy that was following me with the shotgun. Come to find out, them was the brothers that the lady that I ended up selling, that was her nephews. They was brothers. Anyway, make a long story short, so I pointed them out. So my manager and them come pick me up. I'm crying. I'm just mad now. I'm just cussing them out, like, y'all got me out here about to die over selling a bottle of cleaner, but y'all should have been picked me up a long time ago. I'm like heated, like just going crazy. So anyway, to make a long story short, I was like, I ain't doing this sales job no more. Can y'all give me a ticket back to Detroit? I'll quit and everything. So they end up getting me a ticket back home. So this is like the end of January. I promise, like it's like almost February because the video went viral. No, this is like December, I think. Yeah, it was December 2010. I remember. Yeah, it was December. It was like right before Christmas, because I got a subpoena in the mail like around like January 5th or 6th, and that was 2011. That's when the video happened. But this was crazy as how it even happened. So anyway, I go back home to Detroit. I spend like Christmas, my birthday, and everything with my family. They send me a subpoena right after New Year's to go back to California to testify against the people that did the crime. So I was like, I ain't really want to go because I really don't know about subpoenas and nothing like that. But my mother was like, no, you got to go. It's mandatory. You can get in trouble and everything with the law. Just go ahead. They said they're going to fly you there and fly you back. They're going to have you in witness protection, make sure you're secure and everything. So I go there. So when I go there, just like 2 weeks later, it's like the first week of January, probably the second week. I'm not for sure. I know it was like in January. So I go there. I'm getting ready to go to court. I'm going to the restroom after I go to the metal detector. I'm going through the metal detector. I go to the restroom. As I'm leaving out of the restroom, I see this big Indian dude. He like, hey, you motherfucker. Then he go like this. Excuse my French. He just go like this. And then I just run out of the restroom, and then I just run down, go through the metal detector, and I just run out of the courtroom. And then I'm on the phone, like just like nervous again, crying. I'm like, man, I told you this to set up. You got to get me back home and everything. She's like, what's going on? And I'm like, this guy, this Indian dude, he just like threatened me. He said he was gonna cut my throat if I testify, I guess, against his family or something. I'm at this gas station calling you right now. She was like, well, I don't have no money to get you back home. She was like, why don't you call the sales company because they're in California and see if they can get you back home. So I called them. So they end up bribing me to work this day. This was how crazy it was. They was like, okay, we're going to come pick you up right now. They didn't even tell me that I had to go to work. They just told me that's going to come pick me up, get me back home. So they come pick me up. They sell me on like, okay, we just looked at your flight to go from Detroit to California. It's like $500. They was like, but what we can do, you could just go to work today. Because they knew I was like killing when I was selling. I was making like $300 to $400 a day selling. This was like back in 2011. Anyway, make a long story short, they was like, you could go to work today and you could use your sales to pay for your ticket back home. So my whole thing was I'm damn near really stranded now. So I'm like, okay, I ain't got no choice. They was like, we're going to drop you off in a good neighborhood and everything. So they dropped me off in Tarzana. So the first door I knocked on, he was like the Lakers doctor. He was like the doctors, like when they have physicals and everything, they get injured. He was like the old Lakers doctor when they had like Magic Johnson, Kareem, and all them. So I sell him like 2 bottles and stuff. And he was like, you pretty funny. He was like, you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy? I was like, yeah, I do stand-up comedy. I was like, this is just a vehicle that's driving me to my success. It's a stepping stone. I was like, because they said that if you can knock on somebody's door that you never met before and make them laugh with your sense of humor, you wouldn't be afraid to perform in front of an audience. So this just helped me with my people skills. Anyway, so he was like, yeah, he's like, that's pretty amazing. He was like, you know, Jamie Foxx stay across the street. That's why I asked you. I'm like, what? He like, yeah. I'm like, this crazy. I was like, oh, I got to go sell him right now. So anyway, so I leave his door. I'm going across the street. I see like a Maybach pulling this gated, because his house was gated, but the gates start opening. So I run across the street real fast after I sell him. The gates start closing. So I get like real close to the gate and the gates start opening back up. So once the gates start opening back up, I'm walking through the gate. I'm thinking in the back of my mind like, oh, I'm about to sell Jamie Foxx. So on his intercom, he started talking. He like, hey, what are you doing? No trespassing, no trespassing. I was like, COD. And he's like, all right, 1 second. So he pull in this garage. Then he come back out on a golf cart. And I'm like, dang, it's Jamie Foxx for real. And then so he drive up on me. And then he like, wait, you trying to sell something? I thought you said COD. I was like, yeah, no, come on down. And then he started laughing. And then he was like, oh, not only is you funny looking. So we start cracking jokes on each other for like the first 3 minutes. Like we just start like just like joning on each other. So anyway, he was like, man, you know what? I like your personality. You remind me of myself when I used to be a salesman. And then he just had me get on a golf cart. Then he just gave me like a tour of his house. And he started telling me his whole life story, how he was like from like a small town in Texas, how he got adopted. And he used to be like a shoe salesman. And he did that to like pay for, like he said that he actually like wanted to do like show business. And he said that he wanted to be a comedian. He said this was before. He just told me his whole story, like how his real name ain't Jamie, like, he used that to, like, he was just telling me the whole story. So I'm crying as he's telling me this. And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, it's crazy because, like, I wasn't even supposed to meet you today. I was like, I had just quit my sales job, like like a couple weeks ago because I had got kidnapped by Indians. He started laughing. He was like, Indians? Well, you was at 7-Eleven? I'm like, no. I was like, I worked like the Indian reservation because my friend had worked it and he had beat me in sales. So it was like competition more than. And then he was like, let me tell you something. He was like, everything happened for a reason. He's like, just don't give up. He was like, you gonna go. He's like, I'll show you somebody that have adversity. I'll show you somebody that didn't give up and they successful right now as we speak. And then he was like, let me tell you this one last thing before I leave. Now look, when I was talking to him, it's crazy because like, he was on his way to come, like he was on his break. He had drove home, like, because he said he was shooting a movie, The Django. I don't know if y'all remember that movie, The Django. He was shooting that movie, and like, so happened he had to stop home for a minute. But he was telling me like right before, like he even told me about he was shooting a movie. Like, let me tell you how life worked. He was like, whatever you're looking for, look for you. He was like, I remember I was about to give up when I was a shoe salesman because I wasn't getting sales either. And he said he knocked on this one guy door in Hollywood, and he said he was having a slow day. He wouldn't get no sales, and he said he sat on like the corner. He said he used to quit like 3 times a day, and he said he just used to like just think like, oh, should I do this? Should I not? Should I do this? And then he said that the only reason why he kept going because he really like he was an aspiring comedian. He didn't want to give up on his dreams. So he said that something told him like just keep going. He said he knocked on this one dude's door, and he said the dude didn't buy his shoes from him, and he said that he was like, you know what, I got a better idea for you. He was like, I'm doing an audition for A Living Color tomorrow. He was like, I think you're really talented and you'll make the cut. And he said that he went and did the audition, and that's how he blew up. And I'm like, that's crazy. So right after he told me that, the next door, the lady come to the door with a camcorder, and that's how that video was made. Like right across the street, like I'm talking about, like right next door from Jamie Foxx, that's what a lady filmed me. Now this is the tripped out part. Like I get to the door, lights, camera, action. That's why like people when they see the video, still to this day, I be doing all type of interviews and everything. They be like, man, that video was phenomenal. They was like, was that a setup? I'm like, no, that was a one take Jake. Like as soon as I knocked on the lady door, it was lights, camera, action. Like and I tell them like before the video, you know what I'm saying? I sold Jamie Foxx. Anyway, to make a long story short, so if I fast forward, the video go viral. Now I'm still going door to door. I'm going door to door for years now because it's like 2011. Like what's crazy is that I'm going door to door and I got a viral video. Like at the time, I told my it had got like 2 million views within like 3 hours. People was telling me. Now I fast forward to like 20. Like this whole time I'm like still going door to door. Like the company knew that the video viral. I didn't because this around 2011. I really didn't know about social media. That's how the lady ended up taking advantage of me of the video. Once she found out the video went viral, you know, she copyrighted the video and then she started making money off the video. Now this is crazy because I didn't find out she started making money off the video till like 2016, like 5 years later, because like she got paid for ridiculous, like Tosh Point oh paid her. It was on Tosh Point oh. It was on America's Funniest Home Videos. And then Ridiculous. This is how I found out. Like 2016, 2017, I get an email from Ridiculousness, the show on MTV. And it was like, we have to have 2 parties sign this consent for us to play the video on our show. We already had Sabrina. Her name was Sabrina Morgan. I remember like yesterday. It was like we already had her signed it and we paid her. It was like she said she's gonna split the payment with you, but she gave us we found you. I don't even know how they got my email or anything. It was like we ended up finding you. At the time I got an email, this like 5 years later, because I knew that I had a viral video this time. I didn't find out till like 2015 to 16 when I started getting involved with like social media. But if I would have knew what I knew now, I'd probably be a billionaire because like she really took advantage of the whole situation. But anyway, to make a long story short, so come to find out, I started talking to like he like the executive producer of the show. I started talking to him and then he was like, yeah, what happened was that we contacted the lady. The lady didn't have no information on you. She said that she tried to look you up and they had an article that you got shot by your brother, some in California, you was dead. So we really was basically was just gonna, we pay her 20 grand to use the video. But then I guess you must have sold somebody that used to work for our production company, and they said that you were still alive. So we end up getting your email because I had a Facebook and everything now, and I had like so they end up finding me. So anyway, they gave me our contact information, and I end up contacting her. So I was about to get an entertainment lawyer and everything and sue her because like at the time when I found out, the video had like 300 million views. Now it's like 2017. Now the video got like and like I'm in Hollywood now. I work with like a lot of social media people. Like I mess with Logan Paul, Jake Paul. They make like $1 million a month just off of YouTube because like once you get like 1 million views, you get like $2,000. Now here it is. This video had like 300 million. So you do the math. She was eating real good. I didn't get nothing. I got 6 kids. They like eating. I like feeding them. So I was like, that's just crazy. But this was crazy even more. So anyway, I'm in Hollywood. This like 2017. I'm like mad now because like I know the lady done took advantage of me. So I'm in Hollywood at a skit party. A skit party is like we do like comedy sketches and stuff. Like we doing like funny skits and like putting them on Instagram, YouTube. And my friend, we filming like an episode with like King botching them. And then so come to find out, Jamie Foxx's nephew was there. He like a cinematographer. And then my friend Diamond, he was like, hey, this Jamie Foxx's nephew, why don't you tell him the story of how you sold his uncle? And then so I started explaining him the story, like how I sold Jamie Foxx. He's like, man, that's crazy. My uncle did tell me about the story. I'm about to FaceTime him right now. So he ended up FaceTiming Jamie Foxx. He's like, remember that guy that you told me about a couple years ago? He sold you some cleaner and he went viral. Look, he right here. So he get on the phone with me and then we start talking and stuff. And I was like, man, I just want to thank you for calling your neighbor and having her reach out to me to record me and helping me with a viral video, because that changed my life. Because at the time, like I started meeting a lot of like important people. I met Tyler Perry. I was supposed to get on Ellen. A whole bunch of stuff started happening for me. But what happened was that when he told me this, it just broke my heart. He was like, let me tell you how racist my neighbor is. He was like, right after you left my door, my neighbor called me. They was like, Jamie, I'm just giving you a heads up. It's this suspicious black guy working our neighborhood, and he looked like he trying to break in your door, break in your house or something. He peeking through your gate or something. And then he was like, no, that's not true. His name Kenny Brooks, he's an aspiring comedian, and he's pretty funny. You should open up the door and listen to him because I just bought some of his cleaner. So that was the only reason why she came to the door with a camcorder. Her whole intentions was like she stereotyped me basically. She didn't record me because I was a talented, funny, door-to-door comedian salesman that the world will love when they see a viral video. She recorded me because she thought that I was breaking in people's houses, and like if the neighbor said that I really did that, she would have had me on video. You know what I'm saying? That's why she zoomed in on my badge. Like, what's your name? I'm like, Kenny Brooks. And she like, where you from? So she got all my information zoomed in. I didn't watch the video over and over, did my research. But anyway, to make a long story short, what's even crazier, we had like we started talking, me and her. I started talking to her and I'm explaining this to her. I'm like, I talked to Jamie Foxx and everything, and he told me how you caught him and everything. And then she just got upset after that. She was like, you know what? I made you. She was like, how about I just take the video down? And she just took the whole video down, like when it had like 301 million views. So right after that, sorry. Can you hear me? The phone kind of went in and out.
We still got you.
There? Sorry about that. Okay. So anyway, to make a long story short, I just did my homework. So when she took the video down, I just went and like got me a social media. I just flooded social media with like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I started monetizing my brand and everything. So that's like 2017. So I moved to LA. I got out of sales, and then I moved to Vegas because I'm back and forth. I'm in North Hollywood and I'm in Vegas at the moment. So because my media team, I got a media team. I just signed a deal with like a marketing media team. They like do media for like Logan Paul, Tanner Fox, Jake Paul, all these like Instagrammers and stuff. So they just helping my brand. And then they the ones reached out to Brad Leah for me and Jordan Belfort. I'm supposed to be doing the Jordan Belfort podcast next month. So they basically just reached out for me, start helping me. You feel me? Like, because they knew that I was telling. They was like, man, you got a story that USA Today will love. And they was like, people don't know your story. They don't know where you've been at the last year. They probably think you like a one-hit wonder, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, I've just been working 8 days a week, just grinding, you know. But I feel like nowadays you got to work smart, not hard. If I wouldn't have got it took advantage of, you know, I'd probably be in a better position. But I thank God for that happened, because he who suffer remembers. So it just made me even stronger. And like, it's a blessing for me to be able to sit here and just share this with everyone, to like let them understand that, you know, like you got to go through trials and tribulations. So it was a blessing, because right after that, I just wrote my whole docu-series. I got a docu-series that's about to get picked up by Netflix. I'm doing a whole television show. I was supposed to do an event with Tony Robbins, and I was supposed to speak on stage, but it got postponed because of the coronavirus. So like from that video happening and the lady taking advantage 2017 all the way from 2020 now. So I'm like just doing brand deals. I'm working on my brand. Basically, I just launched my sales training course. I've been speaking. I've been doing speaking engagements and everything. So, and I still do comedy too. So I got a show that's coming. I just in LA doing a TV show. I'm like on 2 episodes, so I got like a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, but that's exactly like what happened from the video. And that's exactly that. That's the story basically. But like when I was on Brad Lee, I was telling him like one thing I loved about door to door is that like you find yourself because like I learned so much stuff. Like I learned how to deal with adversity. You know, like it's 90% mental and it's 10% physical. So like you just got to be strong. You got to be stronger than the Holy Ghost. You know, because if you can go door to door and you uninvited guests and you pop unexpected like a premature baby and you greet the day with love in your heart, because somebody is always going through something. If you put your problems on the table and somebody else put their problems on the table and you say their problems, you probably you'll pick your problems up. So you never know what somebody's going through. And that's what I learned as a door-to-door salesman. And now I'm able to tap into the real world and like I'm stronger than I was like when I first started because experience is the best teacher. And like I gotta like I was telling Brad Leah, like I knocked on one lady. That's why I said that I will love. I can't wait. I've been working on this show for so long, my own TV show, because I got so many episodes of what I went through, and I made it funny because laughter is the best medicine for the heart. And like when you can branch that with like everyday life skills, and then you could just like give it to the world, and you can bring laughter with adversity and what you're going through. It's amazing because like I never forget. Like I was telling Brad Leah, like. People, when they see door-to-door salespeople, they like stereotype. They think they're criminals. They think they're bad people. They're not trustworthy. And, you know, it's a thin line between con artist and salesperson. I get that. But at the end of the day, like, I wasn't never at no one's door for money. That's why I ain't come with a Ski Master armored truck. I was there to make a friend and to, like, be there to, like, comfort them and find out their problem. And I was the solution to their problem. And I think that's why I was able to be a successful door-to-door salesperson. And like I tell myself to this day, I said that why did God pick me? Like it's so many people that went door to door. Like in the industry that I was in, I didn't think because like it's a huge turnover. Like I did that for like since like 2008 all the way to like 2017. That's like 9 to 10 years. And I done seen over like 1 million people come in the door. Some people gave up like because they couldn't do it. Some people quit because, you know, they had an excuse. Some people just, you know, it was just a huge turnover. And I'm like, out of all of these people and all of these organizations went door to door, why did God pick me to be like the face of door to door? And I tell myself to this day, I say, because hard work pays off, because really I eat, sleep, and drink the business. And not only that, like I put in a lot of work. Like I remember as a new man, I went and bought like 10 notebooks, and I had like a notebook for jokes. I had a notebook for human interest story. I had a notebook for product knowledge. I never stopped learning. You know what I'm saying? And they said the dumbest question is the one you don't ask. One second.
So my question is, who wants to buy cleaner right now? Because you got everybody gonna be out here buying cleaner, going, just give me a bottle, Kenny Brooks, give me a bottle.
Does it cure
Everybody
COVID-19? Cures
Right.
COVID-19?
So he paused for a second, so I'm gonna jump in, right? But so looking at some of the chats here, the last one says that he can sell Raid to a bug. Okay?
Right.
So you can write that down, right?
Correct.
But you got a whole bunch of people just going crazy saying you need to be on America's Got Talent. You got to get yourself out there because the message is inspiring when we hear everything that you went through to get to this point. I mean, dude, it's flat out insane what happened. And several people said we need to see the Kenny Brooks book, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
that book that's going to say, look at the shit that I swam through to get
right.
here. Right. You like Shawshank Redemption, bro. Right. You went out the wrong way through the shit tunnel to get there, dude. That's impressive. That's
right.
So what are you doing now? So you got everything locked up. You got a sales training thing you said coming up, right?
Yeah, I just launched a sales training course. It's called it's my sales training course. I've been selling it, but like I'm like critiquing it right now. So I'm putting everything because like I just launched over with Bradley to Lightspeed. So, but yeah, I launched it like probably like in March, like a month and a half ago. It's been doing pretty good. It's crazy. It's real valuable. It's Kenny-Brooks.com. It got like a lot of value to it. Like, and see, sales is universal. So it don't matter if you do real estate, you do telemarketing, you do door to door. You know, like anybody can learn from it because number one, like I got 100 of my favorite one-liners. Then I got like persuasion versus persuasion because it teach you persuasion and persuasion, how you set up a customer, you know, like with the buying signals. I got micro commitment, how you commit someone. It's so much. It's like 25 to 30 videos, and then it's so much knowledge. Then I just got stories on how if you don't give up, this will happen to you. So it's so much that you can learn from it, you know. So, but it's amazing. It's pretty awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
I found a brand new drinking game. Okay, just by watching this. The drinking game is—
I got it. I know what it is.
You go on YouTube and everybody got to take a drink when he says, to make a long story
Story
short.
short.
Right? When he says that, everybody got a drink. We'd all be hammered right now. Dude, I got people in here going, don't give us the short story, man. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Right.
Everybody vibing right there with you. So that's fantastic. So so if you had to pick just one thing out of this sales course you're putting together, give everybody that one nugget that you say, this is the first thing you got to do. Is it a micro commitment? Is it you got to get the pre-suade instead of the
my favorite that I will put that always works for me is called a triangle sale. And it's basically off a referral. Like, cause like sales is a numbers game. And I use that basically because like I just got off the phone with someone yesterday and I was training them yesterday. They did like a Zoom call and he wanted me to train this company because he like, man, it's this quarantine going on. Everyone is at home. I'm trying to sell at home. And what's the best way to sell businesses at home? And I was like, well, in my course, I said, I'll give you a sneak peek. I got in in my course, one of my favorites is called the square sale. And how I used to do it is basically referral. I'll be like, blame it on your neighbors. They said you was harder to catch than my ex-wife boyfriend. And they'll laugh, right? And I'll be like, you know, and they'd be like, a lot of your neighbors, they said, they sent me over here. They said you was cooler than the other side of the pillow. And then I'd be like, after I sell them, this would the square sale, the triangle sale come in. It's basically like I'm selling two people back to back, and then I'm selling a person directly across the street. Now it's with door to door, but it worked for like telemarketing, real estate. It works for anywhere because if you answer on the phone and you can use these lines and these techniques, he called me back today. I was like, man, you got to send me a video testimony because he's like, man, it just actually worked because he don't go door to door. He just used what I use on the phone because if you're in Rome, do as a Roman. But anyway, to make a long story short, here we go again. I said it again. Yeah, we got to drink. But anyway, so I was like, when I usually sell this person, I'd be like, well, who's your neighbor next door? Oh, that's Karen. No, not Karen. I sold Karen. Oh, that's John. And then so what I do is I go next door. I'll be like, how you doing? You must be Karen. Yeah, blame it on your neighbor. They said you was cooler than the other side of the pillow. And then they'd be like, so as I'm talking to her, I just got two references. I just got a sale from Jeff. And then he just gave me Karen and he just gave me John. Now, right before I leave Karen, I'm telling her, look, I'm in a hurry like Greyhound. Can you bring in the check next door? And so as they bring in the check next door, I'm like, how you doing? You must be Karen. And they was like, yeah, how do you know my name? And then she'll see her neighbor. She'll see her neighbor bringing me the check. I don't know if you get it. But like, absolutely. They like, so now she talking to her neighbor. She's like, what did you just buy? And I'm like, oh, I thought you never asked. Hold this and watch this. So now she comfortable because she see her neighbor giving me a check or money now. And now she's like, cause that's what it is. Like we call it customers Jones. Miss Jones bought because Miss Jones bought. And I always say that a referral plays a big part because a burglar is not going to use a referral or references. I ain't never seen a criminal use a reference to do crime. I ain't never seen a burglar be, oh, you know John? Oh, he was at home. I stole his TV. Oh, you know Jeff? Oh, yeah, as soon as he left, I took his keys out of his car and stole his car. You know what I'm saying? So when you use them referrals, it like plays a big part. So that's in my course. So I told him how to set it up and everything with the business because I told him how I did it going door to door. I told him I used to pick up sales, Lamborghini fast, just like that. Like everybody, it was to a point where they bring out a desk in the middle of like a cul-de-sac, and it'd be like the whole cul-de-sac would come out, and I'll be performing, just doing jokes and like, you know, like the 3-car Molly dude, like, and everybody recording me, and then they end up buying my product just because like they like how my sales techniques was. But that's my favorite right there because I got majority of my sales just off that, and that's called the triangle sale.
So that was face-to-face actual testimonial videos.
Exactly.
I mean, at that point in time, you were like, bring me the money, and then they go, okay, so your friend is actually, your neighbor is handing me a check
Right.
which is more validation in the quality of the product and the presentation than anything else. That's just
Exactly.
phenomenal. The thought
Right.
process that had to go with that. I love
Right.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it'll get to the
the
point where
link
they had helped me sell. They had, like, as soon as they bring it out, they was like, "Oh, he ain't show you what it did on the tile grout. You ain't see what it did to the carpet." And I'd be like, "Oh, you should go door to door with me, Mom. We'd be salt and pepper. We can tag team everybody." Cause like now you helping me get the customer involved, and they like, "Oh yeah, I gotta listen to her because like she just bought your product and it's my neighbor, and I trust her. I trust her. You know what I mean?" So
right, the fear of missing out before it ever became FOMO.
right,
I love it.
right, yes sir.
So here's what I want to do right now. So you guys, literally, this has been like jumping on a freight train and trying to hold on from the outside, right? It's been nonstop as we go through. And he's provided a bunch of value and he used humor. So you know exactly that's what I enjoy the most is Kenny's humor and his ability to bring up the real and what was there. So my question to you guys is, who has questions for Kenny Brooks? Mo Rock? Go for it.
Thank you very much, Joe, and thank you very much, Kenny. My question is, first of all, your story is so inspiring, and I remember coming across your video many years ago. So it's nice to have you here.
Appreciate
I was actually talking to Joe about this yesterday. I think that everyone should do door-to-door sales at some point in their life because the grit and tenacity that you develop from doing it. So my question is, for people that may have not done it, how do you translate that grit that you learn naturally? How do you instill that in other salespeople?
Just being yourself. Like, to be honest with you, like it don't even got to be door to door. The reason why I agree 100% with you when you said that it should be everybody should do it. I was saying that like it should be taught in like colleges, I think, because like you learn so much stuff going door to door. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like a secret to society, like, and I say that to say this is that like if you never went door to door, the value that you get out of like it helps you with confidence. Number one, you learn yourself. Like I was telling Mo on the last podcast, I said that some people die at the age of 19, they don't get buried till they 70 because they gave up a long time ago. So once like I tapped into myself and started figuring out what I want to be and what I want to do and not give up my goals, my wants, my needs, my desires, it all happened for a reason. So it enabled me to keep pushing, keep going, keep hanging in there like shingles and drywall. So that way I know my why, my reason why I'm out here. So, and a lot, like the reason why I say everyone should go door to door is because if you can do door to door, you can do anything you want in life, period. And for those that never went door to door, you just got to be yourself. You got to find your niche. You got to find out what keeps you going. Like, it's a lot of people that didn't wake up this morning. You know what I mean? Like, and I told Mo that, I said that, the midget told me yesterday, life is short, because tomorrow ain't always promised. So if you breathing and God blessed us to, with this 24 hours in a day, we got to take advantage of it. So I feel like that we here for a reason, not the season. So it's so much that you can learn from other people's mistakes and your own. But you got to remember that we all got a purpose to serve.
So Janice wants to know, do you still have bottles of the cleaner that she can order? Yeah,
I got my own company called Do It Fluid. I got my cleaner with my face on it. It's called Do It Fluid. When you go to kenny-brooks.com, it's on there. And then I got Pink Miracle too. I'm like the brand ambassador of this new cleaner. It's like a shoe cleaner. We about to get it in Foot Locker. So I'm supposed to be doing
I saw it on your videos. He goes door to door cleaning people's shoes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, we've been selling like NBA players. We've been selling NBA players and all type of people. I'm supposed to been doing a commercial with Shaq because he owned Papa John's and he wanted to invest into it. So it's crazy. Yeah, it's bigger than what Oprah used to be. So it's going to be crazy.
Great. So is kenny-brooks.com the best place to find you?
Yeah, that's my website. They got everything you need to know on there.
Okay. So I just want to make sure. So Mike Phillips was nice enough to type that.
Kenny-brooks.com. That's my website. Then I got kenny-brooks.com/booking. That's for like booking if people wanted to book me for like shows or speaking or any type of, when you go on there, you'll see got a whole bunch of things that you can,
Miss Clemens, you heard that one right there. Her answer was, how do I get Kenny to talk to people in the company? Yes. Right. So /bookings.
Yep.
That's what's going to go there. So anyone else got a question for Kenny Brooks? It's not often you're going to get a man of this caliber that's going to be able to sit down and say, let me answer your question. Mike Phillips.
I got one simple question, and this I just want to know if you'll accept my Facebook friend request so I can sit back and continue to watch the show.
Yeah, I got you, brother. Yeah.
That's my
Mike
question.
Phillips, you will be allowed in.
I got 2 of them. I got Kenny Brooks, and when you go to Kenny Brooks, you'll see it's under Funny Salesman. And then I got Kenny Brooks Comedian. That's my fan page. But just go to Kenny Brooks Funny Salesman, and then I accept you. I probably got to delete like 2 people because I'm like maxed out at 5,000. But yeah.
Do you want me to tell you which 2 to delete?
Yeah, he's going to delete me and drop in Mike. Yeah, I see.
No, I got
swapping white bread for white bread, bro. I get it.
No, me and Joe go way back like 4 fats on a Cadillac, so we good.
All right, Luigi, you got a question? Because you know you leaning forward. I know what that means.
Well, I mean, it's a lot to take in. I like how Kenny just throws one-liner after one-liner. I mean, if you were to guess, how many doors have you knocked in the last 10 years? And did you do like B2B or just B2C?
Say that again, B2B or what?
Did you go to business to business or you just went to the end user?
Yeah, I did everything. I sell anybody but a dead body. So like I started off door to door, and then I went business to business because like I wanted to be like more professional, and like business to business they pay more because like when you selling at home, you probably selling like single wives or single husbands, and you know they like stay at home and they really don't have a lot of money. But when you go to businesses, they just tax right off, and then at the same time like it's like it's more easier. Like even though I had a rebuttal for everything, like I said, like they couldn't really tell me nothing. Like every time they tell me something, I had an answer for everything. Like, but I wanted to outgrow myself in a company. It was basically like I wanted to see how far I can go, because what I did, I used to play a mind game with myself. That's how I ended up breaking the company record. Like I knocked on like 160 doors one day, and I broke the record and sold 112 bottles in one day. That was my highest day. So I was just out there just straight grinding. So, but yeah, I started off doing business to business. I started off doing door to door, then I did business to business. Now, how many doors I'd have knocked on in 10 years, 11 years? Probably, I don't know, probably like 10, 20 million. I don't even remember. I stopped counting. Because really, I don't even count. I just count the sales, you know, because sales is a mystery, and it's 90% mental, 10% physical. So I can't have stinking thinking, and I don't want to think about how many doors I'd have knocked on, either because I get sidetracked, and like, that's why I used to always like think ahead. Like I used to always, you got to have a PMA, a positive mental attitude. So I used to stay on point like Stacey Adams. So I didn't want to think the wrong way, because once you get that thought, like Thomas Edison said, if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you still right, because them your thoughts. So I didn't want to think the wrong way. You know what I mean? So. And
what did you sell B2B? What product or what service?
My cleaning product. We used to sell to like farms. I used to buy like cases like Matlock. Then I used to just go to businesses. It didn't really matter. We used to just go to businesses, car dealerships. I used to sell them cases there, and they used to only just buy a case because they wanted me to talk to their salespeople in a meeting. So I used to do a lot of car dealerships because they really was a fan of my video. So, but I used to go to like a lot of basically meetings and stuff. Like a lot of meetings. I get sales, and then they'll book me on like a meeting to come back, because they be like, man, we play your video and our correlations, so it don't matter if it was like, but like we used to go to all type of businesses. Like,
okay, but it was the same cleaning product. Okay, what has there ever been a person that's left you speechless, or an objection that you haven't been able to answer?
Nope. Only one that left me speechless and an objection I wasn't able to answer, it was called a rejection. That's when they just slam the door, and I just be like, well, Kobe slamming harder, and I walk off.
He was speechless the other day when I sent him a picture on his phone, but you don't want to know what I sent him a picture of. That's not important.
I got another question.
Yeah. So hold on, Mike. Vicky has a question. She's been nicely chatting over, saying, "Can you someone let me talk to Kenny Brooks? Damn it!" Yeah.
Sorry.
Kenny, first of all, you are unbelievable, and I really believe the reason why you didn't die when they pulled that shotgun on you is because God wasn't done with you yet.
Amen. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have a God-given talent. And I'm also in sales, and I can say things to people and be assertive and get away with it where other people couldn't. It's just
Right.
because of,
Absolutely.
right. How do you teach people, and I know that you have your videos, I see them on your website, who don't have what you have?
Well, basically, because first of all, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I tell people that all the time, like when I'm training them, because like I get a lot of people that like they try to mimic me and they be like, you're not Kenny Brooks. First of all, like everybody is not a comedian, and I always tell people this because like I'm really is like 100% comedian. Like I'm 100% comedian, and I'm like a 200% salesman. I used to say I was 100%. I used to say I was 99%, and then I was 1% salesman. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm really 100% comedian, and I'm 200% salesman. And I say that to say this is that like when they not me, I just tell them to be they self. But it's all about making a friend. Because it's so many, like we got friends that we just know how to make them laugh, have a good time, and get them to love us, get them to like us. And that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Right. Once you get someone to love you or like you, then that's when they trust you. That's what I tell everybody that I train. I say, look, once you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So once you get someone to love you, they gonna tell you that they gonna open up their purse and tell you to jump in. Now, like I got personality is always going. Like I know how to break the ice. I even say corny stuff. I'd be like, how much do a bear weigh? Enough just to break the ice. My name is Kenny Brooks, you know. And then so once they start laughing, I'm into it, you know. But I got corny stuff too. Like some of the stuff that I say, I'd be like, dang, if I was in Detroit not right now with my friends, I wouldn't even be able to say this. Like if I'm in Detroit right now with my friends, like in the ghetto, I wouldn't be able to say, oh, paint me green, call me a pickle. Golly G, Batman, it works. I wouldn't be saying that. They'd be like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But then at the same time, I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know what's been working for me all the time. And like, I didn't train thousands of people, millions of people that they use some of my lines too, but they just use it in the wrong way. They say it wrong, where they said like Chinese proverbs say, if you can't smile, you should open the store. Some of them will try to say jokes and lines and try to win people over, and they be looking negative, or they be mean mugging them, or they don't have a smile on their face. And I'll be like, man, it's sort of like going into this restaurant. If they got bad customer service, if they got a mean mug on their face, or they frowning at you and they making your food, you're going to be like, no, I want a different waiter. I want someone else to make my food. That's the same thing with sales. If you get in front of someone and you got a presentation going on and you're not smiling and you look like someone making you do this job, they're going to be like, oh, you should do something else, or I can't deal with you. It's the same thing.
So I guess my question was, does your videos address people that don't have what you have, that don't have what I have? That
Absolutely.
help? Okay, great. All right. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Mike Phillips has another question too.
So one of the questions I have, because I think it's really interesting. You are nonstop, man. I love the energy. I thrive on that stuff. But what drives you to keep going? You know, I texted Joe this, like, is it the money? It's not about the money. Is it the win? What is it that drives you? What is it that fuels your passion, man? That man, we can all see it.
It's just the love. I just love it. I just love, like, it's like as soon as I got introduced to this, it was like you can't melt me or pour me out of this. Like, you're going to have to, like, I ain't going to stop until they put flowers on me. And at the end of the day, it ain't even about money, because, like, I don't look at everything as money, even though I do need money. People need money to survive, but I feel like that whatever you're looking for you. And I know, like, long as I do my part and I pay it forward, I know the Lord going to bless me and my family at the end of the day. So I don't do it. It's a lot of stuff you really can't do for money nowadays anyway, because like when we all go away, we can't take none of this with us. You know what I mean? So I just do it for the love. Like, I love helping people, and I got to remember someone helped me. Someone trained me. Like, I didn't come out like this. I sat in seats like everyone else. I was new before, but what happened was that, like, even a dummy know to buckle up. Like, I felt like when I was new, I felt like that when they was teaching me, they was only talking to me. Like, I felt, and I just took all the information. I took the meat and spit out the bones. So now I'm able to give back. Like, so if someone, I just love teaching it, and I just do it. I just do it because of the love. Like, at the end of the day, it's all love. So I know that I know I'm going to get the blessing right back. It don't matter if it's next week, next month, a year from now. I know it's all going to come back to me. Like, when a lady took advantage of me, I still love her to pieces like Reese's. Like, I don't hold no grudges. I just know that the Lord going to bless me. As long as I keep paying it forward and keep doing my part, because I got kids that look up to me, and I got to be a role model at all time. And not even just kids. I got people that watch my video, little kids. I got people all over the world, and they inspire. And then this day and age, like, people looking for something to like keep them going, especially with the quarantine at home, the corona, like people looking for inspiration. So as long as I can do that and pay it forward and tell my story and let them know that, look, I went through this, but look, I didn't give up. I'm gonna keep going. So, hey, so.
Good, man. Thank you.
So Bob Donnell has a question, I believe, because he raised his little hand on the Zoom thing. Or maybe he was clapping.
I raised my little hand.
There he is. There's Bob Donnell. This is a phenomenal individual. He's one of my dear friends, Kenny. So this is a great person to know.
How you doing, Bob?
Thanks. Hey, nice to meet you, Kenny. I remember seeing your video so many years ago, and every time I've seen it, I've never stopped laughing. So you have done, you've struck a chord, obviously. I got a question for you. How do you measure your life now? I mean, you've had great success. You've gone through a lot of adversity in your life. How do you measure at the end of your life? How will you measure it?
That's a great question.
Bob does that, bro.
Right now,
those great questions.
I just measure it on like what's next, like, and then I gotta have something to fall back on, like a legacy for my kids. So long as I like I just stay hopeful, and I just look at everything that happened until where I'm at now. I just know that I ain't where I want to be right now. I got a long way to go. So long as I got a long way to go, that's how I push I got 2 teenagers right now. Like I got a 14 and a 13-year-old, and I'm pushing them to like be better than what I was. I don't want them to go through the same thing I went through. So that's how I measure my success right now, because I know that I got a long way to go, and I'm not nearly where I want to be right now. Like, and like, see, success is like a state of mind, because like my kids asked me this the other day when they was just visiting me. They was like, if you had $1 million, would you say you successful? I'm like, no, I just want to have peace of mind. And I want the things that money cannot buy, like happiness, loyalty, integrity, saying principles. I just want to be happy. I want to just be at peace. But if I got all of that, I know that I'm successfully secure. So I know that money at the end of the day, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna be financially stable. I'm gonna be good. But I do this all for like my family. I do this because I know where I come from. I come from the struggle. Like they say, the smartest people don't come from Harvard and Yale. They come from adversity.
Amen. Well said. Well, Kenny, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you and your story. Just keep your head up. Just keep moving forward. You are crushing it in so many different areas of life. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So remember, everybody wants to buy a cleaner like Ken, who's asking me questions on YouTube, right? It's kenny-brooks.com. And you can go buy the pink one. You can buy the green one.
Yeah,
you can buy
Miracle.
every color
Miracle
Kenny
one
sells.
too. Yeah.
I didn't see it on that website. Is there a website to buy it on?
Say that again.
I didn't see it on the kennybrooks.com website. I only saw about your videos. Is there another?
You went to Kenny-Brooks. All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot the website. That's why I say we like redoing a lot of stuff because of this corona. Everything is like moving slow. But I'm gonna get the website, and I can just tag y'all in it on this, or I can send it to Joe and then have Joe reach out to y'all.
Yeah.
I apologize.
On Facebook, because we already friends, not like with Mike, because he just wants to get in there. But yeah, you can just go to the post on Facebook and drop it in so it's the right one, and then that way everybody will get notified and go from there. So
right.
But all right, any other questions? Because Kenny Brooks got a day to get back to. I appreciate you, brother, like nobody's business. I thank you for coming on and spending time with the crew. And
yes, sir. Appreciate you.
I mean, the actual comments are blowing up from people. Brenda Jones is like, oh my God, thank you so much for the invite, because now I need to go do something else, because evidently everybody's online doing kid stuff, right? Lisa said the same thing.
Right.
My buddy Christopher Roush is over there going, you are raw and you are right. So that's just where it is. Now he said rock at the end, but raw rock, but I didn't like that. So we're going to go the other way, right? He can't say nothing. I got the camera, right?
Right.
So Mike Phillips is just impressed with you as a human being. So that's a definite.
I appreciate y'all for this call, man. Thanks for just letting me tell my story and like inspiring others like I got inspired, That's what it's all about. Yeah.
If we could actually put you in a can, right, then we could actually outdo Monster and Red Bull and everything else, because energy flowing through you is amazing.
Right. Appreciate it.
Especially all us old people. We're over here going,
Right.
damn, how do you do that? How do you do that?
Hey, thank you, Joe. This call was amazing. Thank you a lot, Joe, for putting this together and letting us all get all this value as a community service, not charging anyone to provide this value. And I really appreciate that, Joe. You're really doing an amazing job with these calls. And thank you for allowing all of us to be part of the community.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate you all. Again, everybody, even with your cameras there, just give a little clap for Kenny Brooks. So he can't see you. He's on his phone. He just sees me. But they clap.
Clap.
When you watch it later,
We're all
it'll be like,
clapping.
oh, look, yes. So,
All
all right, perfect. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Again, thank
Thanks,
you so
Joe.
much, Kenny Brooks.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Kenny. Nice to see you.
Kenny, thank you.
Later, Joe. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Later on, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you. Who has? If you don't want to go, raise your hand.
I don't want to go. Where are we going?
I don't want to go either. I don't know what somebody's watching.
I'm on another call myself.
Oh,
I'm doing
Scott,
another call at the same
tell
time.
him you don't want to go, Scott. Tell him no. I don't want to go.
We're doing role playing. I'm doing role playing.
Thank you, Joe.
Nice. Thank you.
I'm gonna mute
Bye,
myself.
Gary.
I'll see you
Thank
later.
you, Jones.
Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, Mikey.
Night, Mike.
Later.
Peace.
So-
Be good. Be good. We're gonna have to end the meeting so Mo can get off because he just walked away, left his screen on. So be good. I appreciate y'all. Peace.